YouTubers seem like they have amazing lives. Once in a while, sure, they'll have their bad days, but for the most part, everyone seems to have everything together. They're running businesses, being healthy, socializing, traveling, all while posting their incredible lives on social media. Without a doubt, many have worked hard and continue to work hard to sustain this lifestyle. But how does the average person get to that point in the first place? Welcome to Psych IRL, my name is Donna. This video is sponsored by Audible. Go to audible.com/psychirl or text Psych IRL to 500-500 to get a free book, 2 Audible originals, and a free 30-day trial. You know, when a lot of YouTubers post their daily routines online, it seems kinda impossible for the average person to do, but they must be doing something right since, I don't know, everything seems perfect? So I started thinking, alright, maybe if I did what they did, my life would be perfect. And that's exactly what I did. I studied some of the most successful YouTubers online and their daily routines, and I found what they did in common and implemented that into one daily routine. And I followed that daily routine for 7 days. Here's what happened. My routine is definitely less than perfect. I wouldn't even call it a routine if I'm honest. Currently, my main sources of income are from YouTube, freelance editing, and freelance writing. So a lot of what I get done is heavily dependent on how I manage my time. And you guessed it, I've been managing my time very poorly. From what I've noticed, a lot of successful YouTubers start their day early. This has always been a challenge for me because I get sucked into doing one project. I get so excited about it. I work on it for hours, staying up well into the night. But then, the next morning, I end up not wanting to work on anything because I'm so tired. I first have to fix my sleeping schedule until I'm motivated to work again. Then it becomes this inefficient cycle that ends up repeating itself over and over again. This is officially day 0 of this whole journey. As you know, a lot of YouTubers seem to like to wake up early.
It's 4:42 in the morning.
I've been waking up at 5 a.m.
Waking up at 5 a.m.
So that starts the night before with sleeping early. Just to start things off, I've tried the lists, you know, the to-do lists. I've looked up how to stop procrastinating on YouTube, and I don't know, just nothing seems to work. I guess the main reason why I'm doing this is that because lately I feel like I've just been going through the motions. I feel like I'm plateauing, like I haven't felt like I've leveled up in a long time. I'm hoping that this will be the key to that feeling again. I'm tired. Good night. Had a successful day 1 so far. Woke up at 8 a.m., had breakfast while listening to an audiobook instead of watching a YouTube video or something on Netflix. I also went to work out, and it's funny because I've had this gym membership for 3 to 4 months now, and it's been automatically charging my credit card $20, and I just never went. I even bought myself new shoes to motivate myself to go, but no, I still didn't go. But finally with this challenge, I kind of forced myself to do that, and I finally did.
Here are your 24 hours. This is kind of how my day looks. So starting at 7 a.m., I like to get in 1, 2, 3 hours of exercise.
Exercise and eating healthy is just an unavoidable part of having a productive day. It's the first thing I noticed all successful YouTubers had in common, for the most part anyway. It's not the easiest thing to achieve, especially if you're used to having a lifestyle one way, but if you want to avoid things such as afternoon brain fog or fatigue, it's a must. Probably just gonna end the day with a little bit more editing, and maybe if I do good, I'll watch some Rick and Morty. Day 2 so far is very similar to day 1, except not working out. You know, gotta give those muscles a rest. I'm actually pretty sore because I haven't worked out in forever. Also, the plan is to sleep at midnight, wake up at 8 a.m. We're only on day 2 though, so. The morning went well, but tonight may ruin that. Influencers and YouTubers have such cool lives on Instagram. Like every day or every week they're going somewhere. I don't know how they socialize and run such huge empires? So I have to go to my cousin's 21st birthday. I can't cancel. And it kind of conflicts with this video. I can't reschedule this video. See, social media kind of confuses me sometimes because it seems like influencers are able to run successful empires, but at the same time have fun. And personally, I can never have the time to do both. The narrative right now is hustle, hustle, hustle.
There's so much hustle in my day. There's no, there's no there's no hanging out.
I love Gary Vee's message, so this doesn't really apply to him. In fact, he's not really a YouTuber, he's more of a CEO. It applies more to other influencers who say the same thing, but are able to post an Instagram photo of themselves every week in another country. How? My posts are like months apart. Looking across the board, I can't find any YouTuber who talks about finding a good balance between social life and work life. We either see a YouTuber that parties a lot or one that works a lot. So today I think I'm going in blind. Hopefully this day doesn't get ruined because we are at the Arsenal bar. Much to drink actually, and I'm feeling fun. Alright, thank you. Today I had a late start. Woke up unfortunately at 9:30, and I know that's not that far off from the scheduled time, but yeah, it just triggered the day off to a bad start. Instead of actually making a healthier option, I'm going to McDonald's. While watching YouTubers' daily routines, I noticed that many of them do things because they believe it's part of who they are. Casey Neistat loves to run, Gary Vee loves to work. They don't feel like they have to do these things, they do them because each time they commit, they build the skill that they feel like is part of them. I think I now understand why I feel like I'm just going through the motions when I'm working, and it ends up burning me out. I'm losing sight of who I am, and I've got to reevaluate that before moving forward. I think Anna Akana has a system that helps one do this. She broke her life into several categories. Here are some examples: emotional, intellectual, spiritual, mental, and physical.
Now, in each of these categories, figure out what the ideal you looks like. Try to be very specific about what the best you does. For intellectual, that means I learn 2 new skills and read 70 books a year. For my mental health, I meditate twice a day for 20 minutes and see a therapist at least once a month.
I'm gonna keep mine simple. I've thought of 3 words that are my ideal self. In 5 years, these are some of the words I hope people describe me as: healthy, intelligent, and creative. From now on, everything I do has to hit these points. Like, I can do exercise for health, learning something new for intelligence, and working on videos for the sake of creativity rather than views. I was going to go to the gym, but something came up and now I can't go. Getting stressed out because of work. Why am I putting my hair in a ponytail? I don't know. I don't need to do this anymore. But also, this happens to me a lot, especially if I have more than one thing to do in a day. And I'm watching these vloggers who jam-pack their day with full of stuff, and I'm always like, how do they do that? How do they not get tired? And I know for me personally, a lot of me not being able to start something is because of stress, and I'm just dreading the task at hand. So I actually learned this technique called release tension, set intention as a technique to get over that. Release tension, set intention is something you do in between tasks. I often get intimidated by the amount of work when facing certain tasks. So to calm myself down, I'll watch a YouTube video, but that often leads to unproductivity because I'll want to keep watching more and more. Instead, I'm going to release tension and set intention. In this case, I've just finished a shower and now I want to get to work. Before starting the task, I've got to release tension from my perceived dread of work. To do that, I'll close my eyes and say, release, release, release over and over again. And imagine myself letting go of the tension from my head all the way down to my toes. Imagining myself letting go of all the negative emotions and energy until it's all gone. Once all the tension is removed, I'm going to imagine what my mindset and energy will be for the next week. In this case, it's work. So that's productive, creative, and all around fired up. You know, I used to think meditation was lame because I didn't really have the patience for it, and I didn't really see the use of it until now, of course. This release tension, set intention technique has been useful for me. In fact, they talk about it more in detail in the book, High Performance Habits by Brendon Burchard. Actually, a lot of the things we've discussed is talked about more in detail in this book. In this case, we're talking about YouTubers, but the book combines all the habits of very high performing and successful people. They talk about the habits successful people have, and they show you how you can implement that into your own life. Now, I personally like this book because it's data driven, one, and two, it's not your typical self-help book where it's like, make a schedule, stop procrastinating, wake up earlier. One of the core foundations in this book is knowing yourself, and it kind of guides you into knowing yourself a little bit better. And I think that is one of the key things that has helped me the most. And you can get this at audible.com/psychirl or text psychirl to 500-500 to get this book for free, 2 Audible originals, and a free 30-day trial. I think I've envied the YouTuber's daily routine for a while because it seems so perfect, efficient, and even aesthetically pleasing. Like, who wakes up like this? When I've applied these strategies in the past before, it was always following them like a recipe, hoping that if I did the exact same thing, I'd end up successful. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. The biggest thing I learned is that everything begins with you. Figure out what you want your best self to be. Filmmaker, adventurer, intellectual, mom, and every day work on those things that help you become the best version of yourself. Don't do strategies hoping it'll create the best you. Waking up early won't magically give you a successful business. Do strategies because it helps you become the best you. Wake up early so you get more done to create that successful business. So there are common habits that very high performing people follow. That includes a lot of YouTubers. Now, you just have to find a way to implement that into your own life. Now, the big question is, will I keep this up? Well, I'm definitely going to try. I do feel a lot better about accomplishing things in a very scheduled manner. That has never happened before. I always give up. Maybe it's because I'm challenging myself that I've actually kind of succeeded a little bit, so we'll see. That's the end of the video. I hope you guys liked it. Stay psyched.